Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the snake plant, also known as mother-in-law's tongue. This is my most requested video. Out of all the plants that I have done videos about, this is the one that is talked about the most. For some reason, everyone thinks this is going to be a hard plant to take care of, and it's actually the easiest one. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll give you some tips on how to take care of it. The snake plant originated in West Africa, Europe, and Asia, and there are over 70 different species of this plant. Now this is one of my favorites. I love the yellow outline on it. I also want to get the ones that are real dark green without the yellow stripe, but they come in so many different sizes. They have the smaller ones and the medium size. This is one of my favorites, so I wanted to start with this one. Now the snake plant is very forgiving and it's easy to grow. It prefers indirect but steady light, some direct sun. They can adapt to full sun, and they also can survive in quite dim situations. Now you wouldn't want to put it somewhere where it has no light, but it can do quite well in an area that doesn't have bright light. This plant prefers a loose, well-draining potting soil, but it'll do well in a sandier soil. Maybe an all-purpose cactus potting soil is a good choice. One that came highly recommended was a mix by Bonsai Jack. You will want to let the soil dry out between waterings. As you can see, this one is quite dry. And what I like to do is fill down at the very bottom of the pot where it has the little openings, and if it's dry there, then I know that it's time to water, and it's just about time to water this one again. But keep in mind, it's better to underwater than to overwater, because if you overwater, you can get root rot, and you don't want that to happen. Now when you're watering, just water on the outer edges, being careful not to saturate the plant itself. Allow the water to drain, but do not allow the plant to sit in water. If the tray underneath is full of water, be sure and pour it out. I like to test the soil on the bottom drainage holes if possible, and that's how I know it's time to water again. So I like to keep them in their nursery pot. As you can see inside there, it's in the nursery pot. And it also came with this orange pot that I liked for fall. But if you keep it in that pot, don't transfer it right away. Keep it in the same pot and it'll do better. Allow it time to adjust to its surroundings. But if you keep it in that pot, it'll drain well. You can let it drain completely and then put it back in the prettier pot. Now the snake plant prefers a warm condition, and it will suffer if the conditions go below 50 degrees. It prefers a temperature range between 70 to 90 degrees, so be sure to keep your plant away from drafts. I have this one sitting in a southwest window, and it's doing really good there. You will want to feed with a mild cactus fertilizer during the growing season. Use a slow release 10-10-10 fertilizer at half strength. That's very important. You don't want to use full strength. Do not fertilize in the winter. Now on plant food, I like to use the Miracle-Gro liquid plant food, and I use it every other watering. So every time that I water, if I water say once a month, which is probably about how often I will water this, I'll water with the plant food, and then the following month I will water with the liquid fertilizer. Now let's talk about potting and repotting. The snake plant is a slow grower and it rarely needs to be repotted. So if you do repot, be sure to repot only in the spring. Use a good sturdy pot because of its strong, thick roots. Keep in mind the snake plant likes to be a little cramped in its pot, so keep that in mind before repotting. If your plant easily tips over, that's usually a good sign that it's time to repot. Another sign is if the roots are falling out the bottom. So choose a pot only slightly bigger than the one that it's in. There are several ways to propagate this plant. You can cut off the leaves and regrow them in water. A lot of times someone might just take one whole leaf and just cut it into 4 or 5 pieces, put it in water. You can put it in about 1 inch of water and it will start growing roots. Then you can just put it in some soil. You can also propagate by division. When you take it out of the pot, you just divide the plant up. You can divide it into 2 or 3 plants. Probably want to do 2 so you'll have a nice thicker plant. So there are 3 ways: in water, in soil, or by division. Now keep in mind the snake plant is moderately toxic to people, cats, and dogs. That's pretty much all there is to taking care of a snake plant. Don't be afraid to go and get one. I got this down at Lowe's. I believe it was $20 or $25. I wanted to get a good size one, but like I said, I'm going to go and get some more and get them in the different colors and look for some updates, because I'm going to do some videos and show you what I ended up getting. But don't be afraid to try out this plant. It's an easy plant to care for. It's a good starter plant, actually. If you forget to water it, you're pretty good to go. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, be sure and put them below and I'll answer everything that I can answer. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next video.